Good evening to you lovely people, or whatever time of day it is with you. Hi guys, it is late-ish and I'm very tired, as you can tell, but insomnia is kicking in royally. What can you do? But yeah, one of the things that I do at the beginning of every year, what I do is that I put together a series of books that become my reading list for the year, and guaranteed it grows and guaranteed I never actually get to the bottom of the list. I don't think I've ever actually managed to finish a full reading list that I put together at the beginning of the year. Ever. But you know, 2020 is my year of wanting to get things done, so who knows. So this list is a list of books that I've either started or I picked up ages ago and just never got around to finish or reading. Books that have been on my list for a while already, and now with the new year I can actually add them to the pile without feeling too guilty about it. And yeah, it's a bit of a mishmash. Some bits will be physical copies, and then there's a whole different list of stuff that I've got on my Kindle that I haven't even thought about picking up yet, but that is a different story for a different day. Today, physical books only. Maybe. Might change my mind later. We'll see. Anyway, let's get gathering. Cozy being in this thing. Okay, so that seems to be the ones that I can see done. So I'm just looking around at my bookshelves now, actually thinking if there was anything I missed, because you know when you get that nagging feeling in your head of you could read me, do you remember me? For now, I'm sticking with this pile. Let's see if I can drag this pile into screen. I am sitting down right now on the floor and just... Yep, it is tall enough for me to rest my chin on quite comfortably. Let's just break this down into chunks, otherwise this is going to be a book avalanche. Also, I'd like to apologise for the abysmal state of my garage. We are still currently moving everything around and trying to get it organised, hence why it's a little bit on the chaotic side. Anyway, two of the books that I have actually started this year are The Great Gatsby and Handmaid's Tale. I am definitely enjoying one more than the other. This is really short, all things considered. Like the first 50 or so pages are just an introduction, so I think that kind of threw me off from the start, but I'm enjoying it. It's just very tedious to get through considering how short it is, but use of language, I'm loving that bit so far, so that's one to put on the already started list. Second one is The Handmaid's Tale. I'm enjoying this one a lot more. The narrative is a lot more cohesive, there's a bit more of a mystery to it, and there's just a bit more attitude to it, which gives the main character something to... just something for us to connect to the main character with, and I'm enjoying it. I haven't got that far through it yet, but I'm enjoying this one. This book is also technically not mine. It is a Stranger Things novel. This was a Christmas present, not to me, but to my partner, and I love Stranger Things as well, so it was only a matter of time before I was going to be stealing this one. Magic Misfits Book 3 by Neil Patrick Harris. I know it's a kid's book, I know it's like a primary school, or I guess if you're in America, middle school read, but I just have a soft spot for books like these where it's just that classic ragtag adventure, and as you know, like ragtag found families are one of my favourite tropes. I think it was my top favourite trope, so this is just calling to me. And also Gravity Falls style, it has puzzles it has like clues and ciphers and things that you need to decode, so there's always something new, like chapter titles, these mean something, haven't figured it out yet because I haven't started it, but ooh. First two books I found so charming and sweet, cannot wait for a third. Same with the Magnus Chase books. The second one the first one I read while I was on my honeymoon, enjoyed it a lot more than I thought, because even though I'm a bit of a bittersweet with the Percy Jackson series. I love the series and I love the majority of the characters, but for some reason I cannot stand the character of Percy Jackson. I don't know what it is, I just find him such an arrogant prick. I don't know what it is, that's just me. However, other books in the series that do not focus on him, I'm really enjoying. The Axeman's Jazz. This is another one that I have started reading. I started reading this one a few months ago. Just, that classic New Orleans 1920s murder mystery style, and I'm sure there's more going on in here. There's definitely hinting at it, and I can't wait. Neil Gaiman and Terry Pratchett, Good Omens. I watched the TV series. I did intend to read the book first, but time just got away from me and I was starting to get spoilers for the TV series, so I just thought, screw it, let's watch the TV series, and I absolutely fell in love with it. And these two people have never led me wrong so far, so I'm really looking forward to see how the book differs from the TV series. And yeah. Tom, my partner, found the entire collection of the How to Train Your Dragon series. Again, I know it's a younger book series and whatever, but I don't care. I love the characters, and I've never actually been able to read the whole thing before, so I'm really looking forward to sinking my teeth into these. The Final Empire, the Mistborn series. I have heard so many good things about this. My partner finished reading it while we were on honeymoon. He said that this is right up my alley, that I will fall in love with it. There's a lot to it, like the font is quite small and it is quite hefty. That does not bother me. I'm completely okay with that. Just give me that good adventure with magic, apparently. And that's it. I loved the Six of Crows duology. Apparently this is in a very similar vein, but different enough that could be better. So I'm looking forward to that. I say I'm looking forward to reading all of these. Clearly I am, otherwise they wouldn't be on my reading list, but okay. This one I actually bought about 4 years ago, something like that. That is The Shadow of the Hangman. As you can see, it was on offer, which is probably why I bought it. I think it was in the same offer as this one. I do have the second one of this. I really should add that to the pile as well. I won't add it to the pile just yet. I'll see if I enjoy it first before moving on to the second one. But yeah, they came in a deal. This seems a little bit more like YA supernatural kind of thing, which I'm interested in. I was into that sort of teenagers, supernatural powers, chosen one thing. I was into that a lot more when I bought the book. So it could be really cheesy to look back at it, or it could be a nostalgia trip, so we'll find out. This one is a murder mystery set in the 1800s, and I just love stuff like that. I don't know, I love murder mysteries that are set in different time periods, because it just opens up your eyes to how things used to be, and love it. Big Little Lies is one of those books that is very much out of my reading comfort zone. I haven't watched the TV series, but apparently that is amazing. So I might give that a watch if I enjoy this, so kind of the opposite to what I did with Good Omens, but whoops. No one's given me spoilers for this one yet, so, take it as it goes. Even though I like my, time periods, like crime mysteries, and then my other end of the scale with full-on fantasy adventures and stuff like that. Real life dramas don't tend to interest me that much, but I don't know, something called to me with this one, so I am looking forward to reading that. Speaking of time period mysteries, The Hourglass Factory. Technically I started this one because I got distracted when we were tidying down here, and I found it, forgot that I had it, started reading, and got at least a chapter and a half in. But then because we were tidying and I had to get back to work, I didn't bookmark it and I refused to dog ear pages. So I can't even remember exactly where I was, but I'm looking forward to restarting it. It's set during the suffragette period where two friends meet up and one goes missing, and it's this big mystery of where she went, how did she vanish. I don't know, something just drew me to this one. Kind of like Big Little Lies, something just pulled me in that direction. Finally, this is one that I've actually read many times, and I don't know why I have chosen to reread it again, but that is Inkheart. I love this book. I love it so much. It is one of my favourites, and I don't care that the film with Brendan Fraser got hate. I found it charming. You know what, screw it. I think it's a good movie. I'm calling it right out there. It is not a great movie, but I think it's a good movie, and it is charming, it is sweet, and it captures the main essence of this. Even if it does go off the rails a little bit, it tries, damn it. And yeah, I love it. It's just so fun, and that fantasy feeling, and it really pulls you in. And if you've read this book, you know why pulling you in has a double meaning to it. I love this book. I love it so much. I think on every reading list you should read something that you have read before and you have enjoyed, even if you plan on reading it later on, just because it gives you that break of, okay, I've been hit with so many brand new things, I just want something familiar and comforting and not easy, but relaxing, in a way. Those are the physical copies of my reading list. I do have more on my Kindle. You know what, I'm going to be adding sequels, so I am going to be adding the third Magnus Chase book, and I am going to be adding the sequel to Angel Fall. I know I said I wasn't going to, but screw it. So far, that's 20 books. Doable, right? Okay, so it's not going to be one book a month, it's going to be more like a book and, well, more than a book and a half a month maybe, but I am remaining hopeful. I reckon I can get through these, and who knows, maybe I can start looking at them not only for reviews from my blog, but also reviews for maybe like a book of the month thing. That is one of the things in my goals that I said I wanted to do. So yes, I'm going to be doing a book of the month, and we will see which of these it will be, because God knows there are plenty to choose from. Also guaranteed, there will be more books being added to this at some point. What can you do? So yeah, thank you guys for joining. I'm sorry this went on such a ramble, but yeah, those are the books that I'm starting with for my reading list. We will see if I add any more to it, and we'll see if there's any book of the month material in there for later on. Let me guys know. Let me know what you guys are reading for 2020. What are you reading this year? I want to know. If you have any recommendations, send them my way. Let's see where this year takes us. Bye guys.